Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships and it's by user Shades Shifter. I, 21 female, am a bridesmaid. My mom and aunts, 52 female, 50 female and 47 female, meddled in the arrangements I had with the bride, saying I had changed my decisions and never told me. Forgive my formatting errors, I'm on my mobile waiting to be taken to the church. I'm currently overseas to be part of my relative's wedding. I do not speak the language here. My mom and aunts do. Before coming here, I spoke with the bride to discuss hair and makeup arrangements. She had hired a makeup team for the whole bridal party and I would only need to come to her hotel to have it done. The whole week leading up to the wedding, I have been overseas. Now, one of my aunts, who is in the bridal party, believes that the hair and makeup team my cousin selected is not of good quality because she doesn't like the style of makeup that they do, and she has hired my other aunt's friend, Brenda, to do her makeup separately. My mom and other aunt decided to use Brenda for their makeup as well and have been pressuring me to do the same. On 4 separate occasions, they have given me the whole spiel.
Why don't you use our makeup artist? She'll be so much better than the one for the other bridesmaids.
On 4 separate occasions, I've made it clear that the point isn't to look better than the other bridesmaids, but to match with them, which I will not do if I use a separate hair and makeup artist. Furthermore, the one the bride selected is actually very good and already paid for. I don't want to be rude by wasting the bride's money and rejecting her perfectly valid choice. Each time, I specifically listed my reasons just so there would be no confusion as to my decision. Cut to last night. I asked my aunt Nancy, 47 female, when we would be leaving to go to the hotel. She got on the phone with the bride, speaking the native language, and then told me,
"Oh, bride says you can just have your makeup done here to save you the drive."
I reiterated my decision and asked if the bride's makeup artist was going to be the one coming here. The response was,
"Yeah."
Well, guess who showed up at my aunt's house this morning? None other than Brenda. I texted the bride to ask if her makeup team was coming. She responded that Nancy had told her I decided to have my hair and makeup done at her house with Brenda and that my time slot with her artist had already been given away to someone else. I was furious. I stormed out of the guest room and confronted my mom and aunt, demanding to know why my time slot was cancelled without my knowledge when I had expressly told them my decision so many times.
Their excuse was, "This plan was in progress since before we left. It was Aunt Eliza's idea, and our artist can do the same thing but better."
I told them that I didn't care whose idea it was or when they were planning it. This was an agreement between myself and the bride, and that they had no right to cancel my appointment, much less without even telling me. I asked my mother what was so important about me using the artist of her choice that she felt it necessary to trick me and tell me half-truths in order to get her way. She was silent. I was so angry over the deception that they immediately called the bride and arranged for Brenda to do the makeup for the person who had been given my time slot so I could follow the original plan I made with the bride. However, I still had the sense that she did it to placate me and save face, as I was more than ready to reveal the lie to the rest of the family and hire a taxi to take me to the hotel where I could do my own makeup. I don't think any of them have realized how inappropriate it is to meddle behind our backs like that, as if the fact they've known me and the bride since we were kids automatically makes our decisions invalid and gives them a right to bulldoze over us without reproach. I'm seriously considering never traveling with my mother again, as this isn't the first time she's changed plans for us over the course of this trip and neglected to tell me until it was within the half hour of leaving or doing whatever it is she decided to do. Am I being too harsh? If not, what can I say or do to drive home the fact that what they are doing is extremely disrespectful and inappropriate? I've already made it clear I won't be manipulated into doing what they want unless they discuss it with me first, but they still are making excuses that these incidents are due to miscommunication rather than any deliberate action. Wow, OP, your mom and your aunts suck, but I have to say that this one is also a little bit on you. I mean, the fact that you just trusted your aunt with whatever it is she said after 4 times that they've been trying to get you to use their makeup artist, I would have been pretty skeptical and I would have called the bride to actually make sure that that was true. Now, regarding your mom and your aunts, apart from telling them what you think of them, there's not much more you can do or say to change their attitude or even teach them a lesson. Yes, what they did was extremely disrespectful and inappropriate, but I don't think they're gonna see it that way because they seem to be the kind of people that are always right. And you even said it in your post. Apparently these are people that think that because they've known you all your life and they think they know better than you, so they just do whatever they want and just bulldoze your decisions. So if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't even waste my breath, my time, or my energy trying to put them in their place. I would tell them, you know what? You guys suck. I'm moving on from you. I'm done with this. And from then on, whenever they give you their opinion or tell you what they think is better for you, you just don't care and do whatever it is that you want to do. Taking away their power is as simple as that, and you're an adult, so you can definitely do it. And what do you guys think about this whole situation? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Green 7000 says, the fact that you didn't start throwing things speaks well of your self-control. I'm still shaking with rage. I would not trust them to order for me at a restaurant anymore. Make sure to tell the bride the whole story and apologize profusely for trusting them. Tell her your mother has done such things before and urge the bride to only talk to you directly, never to trust your mother or aunt. Is there a way to change hotel rooms so you don't have to spend more time with those people? Also, when you get home, can you start saving up money to get your mother out of your life? Mrs. Drennan says, you have every right to be pissed. Tell them exactly that. They are being extremely disrespectful to you and it is completely inappropriate. If I was in your shoes, I would let them know that if a change about you is ever made without you speaking to someone directly, that you will never travel with them again. NetTubs says, your mom is dictating what she thinks is best for you. You have to sit down with her and explain that you are an adult and it bothers you. Sometimes it takes mothers a while to understand that their children are capable of making their own decisions. Don't be a doormat for anyone and stand up for yourself. They may get angry at first, but they will get over it. And Vivian vs. Humanity says, they do not believe it was a miscommunication. If that's what they are claiming, they are still lying and disrespecting you. Get the translating app and do not take anything they say at face value. I also think it'd be really important you call them out on this and inform the bride what they were up to. Who knows what else they're up to cause you... Who knows what else they're up to cause they see you as kids still. Alright, well the community gave OP some decent points and there was a commenter that I think was more on the mom's side. I don't know. Anyways, OP did not reply to any of the comments, so we do not have any more context, which means we move on straight to the update to see how the story ends, but of course before that, here's another one of my playlists for you to enjoy after this video. Now, let's move on with that update. Thanks for all the advice. It helped me to feel much better about the whole incident and reassured me that I did the right thing. It also made me realize some unhealthy patterns that all of us seem to have normalized. I should have mentioned in the original post, I did immediately text the bride and let her know that I told everyone I wanted to do my makeup with the rest of the bridal party and followed it up with, I am so sorry for the inconvenience. I have no idea why Aunt would have told you otherwise. So she knows what happened at least. Now the good part. Karma hit everyone better than I could have hoped. You see, one more thing I forgot to note is that Brenda is a hairstylist, not a makeup artist. So after about 30 minutes with this superior stylist, supposedly better than the bride's professional makeup team, my mom came out of the guest room. She had bright glittery white eyeshadow filled up to her eyebrows, smeary black eyeliner, and bright red lipstick to top it all off. Her eyebrows were filled into disproportionately large Nike swoops using what looked like brown eyeliner pencil. It was bad. She flounced out into the living room and asked, grinning, "So, what do you think?" Smiley face. I deadpanned, "Your eyebrows terrify me."
She mumbled something about, well, I'm just playing along with all this makeup for the wedding, so...
and retreated back to the guest room. Brenda took so long just to do my mom's hair and makeup that my Aunt Nancy never even got any time to be made up. Aunt Eliza, who my mom and Aunt Nancy blamed the whole Brenda subversion on, was seated in the makeup chair being worked on by the inferior makeup team when I arrived. Don't worry though, karma hits her hardest of all. In the end, both my mom and Aunt Eliza makeup was done very wonderfully. My mom even paid them 100 pesos to fix her makeup when she saw how well they did mine. And now, this is my favorite part. After I left the country, I found out from my mom that Aunt Eliza had gotten permanent makeup done. She had her lips tattooed bright red and her eyebrows filled in like my mom's had been. Now, my Aunt Eliza has naturally thin lips, so of course the sensible thing to do was to tattoo the lipstick on in a rounded overdone heart shape that visibly extend past her actual lip line. So now she has disproportionately large fake lips and massive Sharpie brows tattooed on her face, not forever but for at least a year or more, which is still pretty damn awesome. When I got home, I decided I was never going to go back to my family's home country until I become fluent in the language, and I won't tell anyone I've learned. Because that language barrier definitely was a thing that they used to take control of situations. And at the last minute say, well, we completely changed things X days ago, but it's too late to change it now. So I'd have to go along with whatever they said. I've completely cut off Aunt Eliza and her husband and have decided to go low contact with my mom and Aunt Nancy. I know what I'm doing is an option and it always puts me in a little more of the child role than I want to be in. But I want to be around to help as long as I possibly can, or as long as there's some measure of okayness in our relationship. Like, it's my mom. I can't just let her go without unless she does something well and truly unforgivable. And even then, it would be really heartbreaking. I know you guys wanted me to cut them all out completely, but I based my decision on the fact that Aunt Eliza is by far the worst of my relatives. She called my mother a pack mule while we were hiking, and prior to leaving on one excursion, started rampaging through our accommodation, ordering everyone to get ready faster to make up for the fact that she hadn't communicated the departure time to anyone, and we were now running late. Weeks before the wedding, she was also sending me furtive messages criticizing the bride's choice in the bridesmaid dress colors, calling the dresses cheap and poor quality, and telling me her husband was saying that if we walked down the aisle in those dresses, we'd need to put paper bags over our heads. Oh, but of course, she was telling me not to say anything to the bride because that would make Aunt Eliza look like a bad person. Imagine that. I've been considering going no contact with her for a while, and now all of this was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Aunt Nancy is normally a wonderful hostess and very kind. This behavior was very out of the ordinary for her, and I feel like it was just Aunt Eliza's influence bringing out the worst in people that caused her to do any of this. I feel like this one incident still doesn't eclipse the great job she did entertaining us and opening her home to us, as she's done in the past. My mom did act very disrespectfully, especially given the fact that I supported her and of course paid for our tickets, but she's still my mom and she has made a lot of sacrifices for me in the past, which I do owe her for. Her health is not so great right now. She suffers from severe anxiety attacks, among other things, and I think that cutting contact completely might actually cause an episode bad enough to literally give her a heart attack. However, this incident has told me that despite everything I've done for her in turn, she has absolutely no respect for me as an independent adult and seems incapable of realizing the error of those actions. Going low contact is the best middle ground I can find between what I need to do and what is right. So all in all, I was able to get my makeup done with the bridal party, my mother went to the wedding looking like a drag queen, Aunt Nancy never got to have her makeup done, and Aunt Eliza got her face tattooed to look like Mr. Potato Head. Well, OP, I have to say, you said it best. Karma got All of them, particularly Mr. Potato Head there. That must be hilarious. I wish I could see a picture, but I don't know if you want to share that online. Might be too much. In any case, OP, good on you for wanting to learn that language and getting rid of that language barrier, but like you say, you shouldn't tell anybody, just keep it to yourself. And with all that being said, here's wishing you the best in the future, OP. Take care and thank you for sharing. Now, even though the mood is quite high, let's keep writing it and finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user Graspronomib. Want to beat the crap out of your own car? Well, okay then. This is more malicious non-objection than malicious compliance, since my compliance consisted mostly of not stopping the idiot from doing the stupid thing, albeit at his own request. But there's no such subreddit, so I'll have to post it here. A few weeks ago, I found myself parked next to a car that was, as far as I could tell, identical to mine. Same make, Subaru, model, Outback, color, muddy green, and probably the same year, although I'm not an expert. Close enough, probably. It's a popular car, I pass them all the time. My car has a large parking lot ding on the driver's side rear door panel. No idea how it got there. Probably some kid opened his door a little too quickly or forcefully and it's smacked into my car. These things happened, no need to get worked up about it. I'd been meaning to get it fixed and I'm a little sorry that I didn't do it because it would have saved the idiot a lot of grief. Self-inflicted grief to be sure, but still. Enter the idiot. Bog standard middle American dad. Nothing special about him. We're both exiting the Walmart with full cart and he's about 100 feet ahead of me. As we approach, I think it looks like he's heading in the same direction. I even plan on jokingly saying, "Nice car," in Subaru solidarity, but I will not get that opportunity. I should mention here that I've already clicked my clicker to unlock the car. It'll be important later. Kinda wish I hadn't, to be honest. That would have spared the idiot some grief too. This is the point where the idiot notices the large ding on his car's door and he takes offense at that. To be fair, that ding is pretty ugly. The paint is gone where the tip or something from whatever hit it was centered and there's a scratch leading off to one side. I think it kinda looks like a spoon in the middle of a small, shallow cereal bowl. So anyway, he gets really mad, likes screaming things like "son of a bitch" and "it's a effing brand new car" and stuff. I think he looked up at the windshield hoping to find a note or something, but this all happened so fast that my brain might be making up details to fit into the blank spots. I've actually slowed down a bit by now because it's uncomfortable being around really pissed off people, and to be honest, I was super confused about what was going on. For a second, I actually forgot which car was whose. It didn't make sense for him to be hopping mad about my car having a dent. I think my brain was going, wow, two exactly the same cars getting huge parking lot dings in them? What are the odds? But you know that weird twisting feeling where you reorient yourself from the confusion and snap back to reality? That happened. I realized that he had made the same mistake that I made, and so I did what anyone would naturally do. I called out, "Hey, it's okay, that's my car," which backfired spectacularly. The idiot must have thought that I meant "that's my car's door that smacked into yours," which only made him madder. He started yelling things like "what the F?" and more of "it's an effing brand new car" and more of the same. I tried to explain, but it is not exactly easy from a distance and definitely a lot harder when someone is raging at you. And that's when he opened the driver's side rear door of my car. It is the one with the large ding, and he slammed it into his car. Hard! It made a dent. It took a little paint off the edge of my door too, but I didn't notice that until later. So at that point I yelled, "Hey, stop that!" This only made him more upset because he responded with, "Oh, you don't like that? Shut the F up," or words to that effect. I'm paraphrasing here. So, I guess in a nutshell, that's my malicious compliance. I did exactly what he said, shut the F up, and let him slam my car door in his car a couple more times. And I let him try to kick it too. There wasn't enough room between the two cars for a good Chuck Norris roundhouse, so he had to be satisfied with a weak sauce knee to the rear quarter panel. But kudos for trying it, idiot. You gave it your best shot. I wish I was some kind of heroic Viking warrior who could come up to the defense of my property, but my flabby-ass wimpy dad bod isn't up to a fight in a Walmart parking lot. So I backed my cart full of ice cream and frozen tater tots right the F off there and started booking it back to the Walmart, intending to ask for help from a security guard. I sincerely regret that because I did not get to see the moment when the scales fell off the idiot's eyes and he realized that he had been beating the crap out of his own car. I can only imagine that it was one of the most epic epiphanies of his angry life. To compound my disappointment, he exited the parking lot in the opposite direction, preventing me from seeing the extent of the damage he had done. I didn't get to applaud either. This whole episode took maybe 5 minutes tops, probably less, but aside from a little lost paint on the edge of my door, that was probably going to have to be replaced anyway, I was fine. Him, not so much. Oh man, the name is so well put, The Idiot. Hopefully he learned a lesson, like look at the license plate or something before you go full rage, or just try not to go full rage. I don't know if it's just my perception, but the world seems to have gotten a little bit angrier in the past 10 to 5 years. I don't know, what do you guys think? Still, thanks for sharing, OP. Take care. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.